Testing 1, 2. Come on, catch up. Always gotta wait for YouTube to catch up. I don't know how people do this normally without checking it. Just assuming it works, maybe. Well. Oh, there we are. Well, and we got sound. Great. Alrighty. Okay. So I am a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, Coach Steve Money. And this is the Ramsey Show After Show. For more financial content, you go to youtube.com/coachstevemoney. You scroll down and you see answering your financial questions with Ramsey Solutions Certified Coach Steve Money. That is me. And that's the weekend show. That's 4 p.m. Eastern times on Saturday and Sunday. The music, I'm getting ready to do a brand new show now, a song now, and that will make it 10 after I add that one to the music playlist. 10 Ramsey adjacent songs, so listen to those if you're so inclined. And of course, the show, the Ramsey Show After Show. And this is number 378 of those. So plenty of time to listen, plenty of stuff to listen to Steve talk about. All right, and as promised, new song today. What up, Sid? What up, Marshall? Marshall. Let's see, hopefully the levels are good. Can't ever seem to get enough of Dave. Messed up already. It's his great advice and delivery that I crave. But now that he's away, won't be a replay. There are other hosts that fill in for him. For seniority, there's Rachel Cruz. King Coleman can end your career blues. George Camel snarks while his Tesla's parked in the parking lot of Ramsey Solutions. Dr. John Deloney, 2 PhDs. Jay Borshaw paid for $60K and now she is debt free. Dave Cation certainly deserves it. Dave Cation, time to get away. Dave Cation, and we get an all new show. Dave Cation, Rachel King, George Camel. Dave Cation, John Deloney, Jay Borshaw. Dave Cation, we still get a brand new show.
Fuck you.
Dr. John Deloney, 2 PhDs. Jade Warshaw paid for $60K and now she is debt free. Dave Cation certainly deserves it. Dave Cation, time to get away. Dave Cation. Whoops. Get an all new show. Sorry. Dave Cation, Rachel King, George Camel. Dave Cation, John Deloney, Jade Borshaw. Dave Cation, we still get a brand new show. Dave Cation certainly deserves it. Dave Cation, time to get away. Davecation, and we're getting a new show. I forgot I was gonna do that like Belinda Carlisle always does with the hands over. Alrighty. Yeah, that didn't go so great, so probably I will do a different recording of that to add to the music playlist. But that was the debut. That happens sometimes with debuts, just because I haven't sung it enough yet to be that familiar with it. In the driver's seat today was, let's check on the chat. That's right, Go-Go's Marshall. And, George Camel was in the driver's seat today, a day of Davecation again, as was yesterday. So assuming the week off, but we don't know. They don't let us know this stuff. And this one's about our pal George. My YouTube show back in the day, Mr. King Coleman calls him George, Camel with a K. George hosted 3 podcasts, they didn't cost a cent. A borrowed future entree leadership and the fine print. But now he's a co-host, Ramsey personality, smart money happy hour. He hosts with RC. He'll tell you to sell your car, he'll tell you to sell your horse, and if you're a crypto bro, he'll tell you that of course. Opened up YouTube, saw the thumbnail was camel. It's always fun with George on the panel. Ayo wore Razos and Deloney wears flannel. No one does it better than our guy George Camel. Saving money now. I always forget how much music this has before the lyrics start up again. Maybe I should probably try to edit it down so it's not so much instrumental. Now George is a millionaire and a charismatic bloke. You can order his first book, Breaking Free from Broke. He addresses the hardcore topics, even mention fire, fixed income, retire early, but here's what drew the ire. 4% withdrawal rate was not what George advised. In fact, he said, do not do that, call him mischaracterized. Now George is a hygiene homie, he's a tidy mammal. He's got his own YouTube channel called George Camel. I opened up YouTube, saw the thumbnail was camel. It's always fun with George on the panel. Ayo wore Razos and Deloney wears flannel. No one does it better than our guy George Camel. Saving money now. Opened up YouTube, saw the thumbnail was camel. It's always fun with George on the panel. Ayo wore Razos and Deloney wears flannel. No one does it better than our guy George Camel. Saving money now. Opened up YouTube, saw the thumbnail was camel. It's always fun with George on the panel. Ayo wore Razos and Deloney wears flannel. No one does it better than our guy George Camel. Saving money now. Saving money now. Alrighty, and the co-host today was that flannel wearer. He was not wearing flannel today, though. The song about Dr. John D. Loney. We call him Dr. D, as you can see, but his parents named him John DeLoney. fees, 2 more than me. Plus he's got some other search. John Deloney, never gonna stop. Gives advice, such a brilliant mind, he always sorts it out. Has the clout of the healing kind. John, woo! John Deloney. Ooh, he takes a call and then twirls his pen, and he's a scrolled up too far. Is what you're going through, says John Deloney, never gonna stop. Gives advice, such a brilliant mind, he always sorts it out. Has the clout of the healing kind. John, woo! John Deloney. John Deloney. So many mistakes today. Sorry about that. Probably Marshall's first time hearing these. So sorry. Long instrumental break in this song too. Oh, I said a brilliant mind, anxiety redefined, and put in a quick read by John Deloney. Health and wellness has to face, they didn't place, but they probably still had fun with John Deloney. He's never gonna stop, gives advice, such a brilliant mind, he always sorts it out. Has the clout of the healing kind. John, woo! John Deloney. John Deloney. John Deloney. John Deloney. John Deloney. Alrighty. Sorry for all the mistakes. Alrighty, not first time hearing it. Great. Did watch some of my other videos while working. Thank you so much, Marshall. Appreciate it muchly. Market report. Dow Jones, S&P 500, and the NASDAQ all down. But an overall up day if you have your small cap. Russell Small Cap Index up 1.02%. And it has been creeping up there recently. The last 5 days, nope. The last month, up 10% in the last month for the Russell 2000 Small Cap Index. And that, of course, is why Dave recommends the small, mid, large, and international 25% each of your 15% of gross income that you should be investing. All right, let's see what the futures have. Futures have everything up except the Dow. Let's check the rest of the planet, shall we? In Europe, mostly up. Asia, everything down. And the currencies, let's see, that would be the US dollar over the euro. Japanese yen over the US dollar, though. US dollar above the British pound, love. The US dollar above the Canadian dollar, and of course, US dollar up against the Australian dolomite. Our pals in crypto. Bitcoin down, and this does not stop trading. This is 24 hours on the crypto market here. So we have Bitcoin down, all down except for Ethereum, and that can change at any time. Of course, crypto not recommended by Mr. Ramsey. Got a couple stories to talk about here, both from CNBC. .com today. Americans are flocking to Texas. 9 of the 10 fastest growing U.S. cities are there, and I thought we'd find out which ones those are. They say everything's bigger in Texas, and between 2020 and 2023, that seems to have been true of population growth. All right, so we got Salina, Texas. Never heard of it. Where's AJ when I need him to break down these cities and like where they're located, like what big cities they're near to? Near Est. Royce City, Texas. Melissa, Texas. Princeton, Texas. Anna, Texas. Forney, Texas. And then finally another state breaking in there. Amherst, Massachusetts. A little northeastern action there. And then Manor, Texas. And Georgetown, Texas. And let's see, this is just fast population changes, and all of this is up at the top here is growth, and this is, I guess, where they lost people from. So Big Spring, Texas, one of the most. San Francisco, California, I expect to see Los Angeles on here, but I guess if you're living in Los Angeles to begin with, I guess you might be off pretty well. Alrighty. Alright, so I was just curious as to which cities those are, and have I heard of any of them? I don't think so. Maybe Georgetown? Maybe Georgetown, but I don't think so. And what other story do we have? We have, let's see, NASDAQ futures fall after Alphabet. Tesla reports earnings today. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Let's go back to that. There we go. So you can see the most followed single stocks on the Google, which is the Apple, the Alphabet, which owns Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, and Tesla down today, and today Alphabet, that owns Google again, Visa and Tesla reported, and let's see what the futures are looking like. So it went way up right immediately, and see, some people try to, like, before the announcement is made, or if they get early news of it or whatever, they will say, oh, it's going to be good. Okay, I better buy right now because it's going to go up. And then that happens. And then they say, then after the initial flurry, then somebody says, oh, well, the price is too high now. And then it immediately goes down. When it goes down that much all at the same time, I got to think computers are involved. And it's like, sell at this number, and you just program the computer to handle that for you. But right now, futures down for Alphabet. Let's see what they did. Revenue boosted by cloud computing. So, and this can happen too, and the revenue is boosted sometimes, and there's no bad news. Google results to show AI's impact on clouds. Oh, that's an old one. Let's see. Tesla and Alphabet stepped up apparently. Let's see what Tesla's is. But as you can see, it's down from close. Futures are down from the close on Alphabet. And so, no, I might look at Visa too. Why not? We got a minute. And again, Tesla, if it has good news in the earnings report, why the fall off? I don't know. Let's see. Slides after it's mixed. Q2 results. All right. Fell 45% in the second quarter on weak electronic vehicle sales. Okay. All right. So that makes sense why you would do that. And I believe this says affordable electric vehicle, excuse me, still on track to be available in 2025, according to Mr. Musk. All right, now back to the story. Let's see. Silicon Valley executive had $400,000 stolen by cyber criminals while buying a home. Here's her warning. Let's see. She was tricked into sending her life savings to a criminal, and you don't do that. Probably trying to like not use, maybe not use, trying to not use a realtor, not using a bank. How did you send that? Let's see. 25-year veteran of tech companies. Interesting that it would happen to a person of that, who has that kind of experience. Increasingly sophisticated nature of cybercrime, real estate with its large transaction sizes and frequent use of wire transfers has proven to be an especially lucrative target for criminals. Yeah, I guess that's true. But what you don't want to do definitely is do like strike some kind of deal or something like that, like not having any previous meetings with the buyer or anything like that, and like send them the money on the same day that they make an offer. You might not want to do that. Let's see. After a year-long search, Rana was elated to learn she'd beaten 3 other bidders for a house in the leafy. Oh, she's the buyer, not the seller. I don't know why I was thinking she would be the seller. Because she's sending the money. Duh, okay. For a house in the leafy California suburb of Orinda. Or is that Orinda? Probably Orinda. Just outside of San Fran, speaking of California. So when she works at a software startup, received an email in late January from her mortgage broker with, if it's the mortgage broker doing it, yeah, I get it, with directions to wire $398,359. Down payment to a JP Morgan Chase account. She wasted no time sending the money. All right. At least she had the money. Maybe borrowed it ahead of time, perhaps. Who knows? After all, the email appeared to be a response to one. Oh, beep, beep, boo-doo. Had sent her broker about asking about final steps before the closing, which was rapidly approaching. But on January 30th, the day after she'd sent the wire, Robillard got what looked like a duplicate request for the down payment, and it dawned on her that she had fallen for a scam, one that would throw her life into turmoil for the next 6 months. Yeah, so, I mean, on something like this, to be safe, what you would do is call your broker and verify the account and directions on the wire transfer. So you would not just trust the one email and just send it. And that happens all the time. In my previous job, I ran into people that would like the most. I got the most problems with this myself that I came in contact with was through Facebook Marketplace, where you don't know people and they're not local, so you like can't meet somewhere and exchange goods for money. But like somebody that lives out of town and you just send them the money. And anything is like that, really. Also plenty of things where it's, not to throw Facebook under the bus, but the Facebook Marketplace and the Facebook ads, they have a third party that handles the ads on there, and there's often ads on there that are like selling stuff for like half off or something like that, and people just click on it and they just send the money immediately. They think it's Amazon. It's not Amazon that you're dealing with on these things, and so people just get scammed. You just gotta be careful. If you're not 100% sure, do not send the money. Absolutely, it's better to be without the thing than lose all that money. Let's see. Once criminals have a victim's money, they quickly shuffle it to other bank accounts before withdrawing it as cash, right? Converting into crypto or exploiting mules to launder the funds. Yep, exactly. So yeah, I get it. A lot of times, like if people get your debit card number, they will buy gift cards. because then they can sell the gift cards for cash and not trackable. Alrighty, so that's good warning there. Alright, let's dive into some questions. Magical Elixir, what up? Sorry I missed your question or comment that the other day. I think it was last week. Boom, boom, boom. Also known as Marmalade. What was also known as Marmalade? What did I say? I don't know what I said. Sorry. That was, what, 5:20? That was 8 minutes ago. Oh, those ads for the incredible craft cabinets. I don't know anyone who actually received one. Oh, yeah. Yep. Glad you didn't buy one. Yep. Yep. If it's too good to be true, it is. And again, it's better to go without having something, even if it's a great deal, than take the chance on losing money. Alrighty, this is reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey. And we sort by new, and I go to the bottom. That way I'm not missing any questions, because they do only post 1,000 questions at a time. And I have done so many shows, especially when I used to do the after show every day. And now that I'm doing the weekend show as well, don't want to run out of questions. So I want to make sure I do all of them. So that's why I scroll to where I left off on. And you do got to be careful here. Speaking of things that are like, this is not a scam, this is just an ad, but you see they make the promotion, they make the ad look exactly like another post. See, these are all questions from actual people or bots, who knows. And this right here is an ad. I mean, it says promoted right there, but if you don't miss that, you wouldn't know. And so, yep, you do got to be careful. Got to be careful. This is from Icy Breakfast 3855. There was some Waffle House and IHOP talk at the end of the Ramsey show today. My pal Anon, allergic to eggs apparently, and that is not fun actually. And at my last job, I worked with a guy that was allergic to eggs. And so a lot of stuff he could not have. Icy Breakfast 3855. Please help. Want to become debt free? That is allowed. You can do that. Let's see what it says. Please help. I want to live my life in peace. What do you mean request failed? I didn't do anything. Hello. Hi guys. Current situation. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's not that long. Okay. Current situation is debt trap, which I'm going to face within the next 2 months. Okay, so if you don't have the debt yet, maybe there's a way you can avoid it. Let's see. Reason for this is my bad habits lead to you of going into gambling of financial markets. So you don't do that. You put systems in place where you can't do that so easily. Like, I mean, if you got to go to all cash for transactions, you do that and do the envelope system, and you don't have a debit card that you can add to a gambling site. Or in this case, gambling of financial markets, doing like day trading or options and all puts and all that crap that we do not recommend at all. Also, a cycle of rolling money made it even worse. Yep, rolling money. That's like you run up one card and then you like pay it down or off completely. You roll it to a different card and then you can build up the amount on the original card again. And so, yep, that will make it worse. To begin with, since childhood, I've seen many ups and downs in my family. Father passed away when he was 16 and my brother was 20. Normal family. I completed my engineering and started doing job. Okay. Perhaps English not first language. Doing job, which is where in eager of becoming rich, I entered into financial markets. Yeah. That's the way the crypto bros and the day trader bros do it. It has been 6 years now. I have decided that it is not going to work out. No, most day traders lose money. It's a very, very high percentage of day traders that lose money. I have moved to Canada from last 2 years, where with the help of my brother, I'm working as a dealer of convenience store from last 8 months. Well, the amount, it's too much information, obviously. Well, the amount would help me out is a lot to ask, but I have plan attached below, which can bail me out in 5 years. I know you might be getting tons of requests like this, but is requests where banks and institutions not helping because of is it a guy asking for money? Let's see. Please look into the plan and, if possible, approve my funding. Who is he putting this to? Does he think Dave Ramsey is reading this? Or is this just for like Redditors in general? I do not know. Thanks to you. So speaking of sending money, without knowing if it's even something legitimate, we don't know. From where I have learned that if you are willing to fight, there will be a ray of hope from somewhere which can spark and light life again. Yep, and that does, Mr. Ramsey's advice has that effect on people. Let's see, 130,000 Canadian dollars, which is 78 lakh in earnings a month now. That might be some other country currency, maybe. I don't know. Okay, so there's a bunch of numbers. Just every other cost and cost flow is prepared to take a loan. So we can't do your loan, dog. We can't get that to happen. Let's see. This will reach interest paid around $85K with principal in 5 years, where you will also have 10% return annually. Okay, let's see. Well, I can invest in mutual funds, or I can put my $130,000 in. I can give it to this gentleman. I'm going to read a couple comments. You're in the wrong set of it. Ready to ask for a loan. This is about getting out of debt permanently. Yep. Let's just see if the OP. No, I have personal business of 24 hours, where the more I work, the more I make. Yeah, that's great. No, I have a personal business franchise dealer. Gambling and financial markets. Issue is of cash flow and payments. Well, that means you're doing it wrong. So, all right. Probably spent more time on that one than I should have, but that's the way life goes sometimes. Formula Fan 2024, okay? Maybe Formula One. Emergency fund debate. Oh, good. Hi, all. Hi, guys. Just starting a fun discussion. A fun discussion. It's going to be a fun discussion. Oh, I can't highlight it. The emergency fund advice that Dave gives. Fun discussion. I think that the fact a lot of people have less than 1K in savings is horrific. But I also think that 1K is not nearly enough. It's not supposed to be enough. You're not supposed to be comfortable. You're supposed to be scared out of your mind so that you pay off your freaking debt. It's done that way on purpose. Dave has said 1,000 wasn't enough 30 years ago either. Reason I had to replace my water heater, and it's not for that. It's not for that. Did all the labor myself with 1,700 parts. Yep, for solar owners on the show to only have 1K in emergency fund, I think sets them up to go into debt again one day. No, it works for millions of people. Worked fine. Documented. It's not supposed to be able to replace a water heater. That's not what the starter emergency fund is for. It's again so that you get your crap into get your butt into gear to get your crap settled. So you get your financial situation in a better place. Personally, I would say save up 1 month of expenses minimum while paying down debt. Okay, well, I mean, that's, people do it their own way sometimes. They don't want to do it the proven, documented success story way, and that's fine. They can do it whatever they want to. Just a fun debate on it. Captain X Crunk says, should I pull out my small 401k to pay off debts? No, you do not. because, and the reason is because you would have to pay taxes on the growth, and you also would you have a penalty on that for cashing it out before you're retired. Hi all. Hi guys. 26 have 100% VA disability rating through the VA. It's possible that might be like an exception where they will let you take it out. It's possible. So I not only get income from my job, but also from that. That is also for the rest of my life. The monthly income just from VA is 80% of what ideal retirement 401k income would be. I currently have a 401k. It's currently sitting as our company just got bought out and is not being matched currently. Eventually, the new company's 401k plan is going to come in, so I plan on resuming it. I have about 8K sitting in it. I wanted to take it out to pay off 2 personal loans that equal about $400 a month right now. Unless because you have VA disability, unless that exempts you from the penalties, it's not going to exempt you from the taxes on the gains. However much of that $8,000 is gains, you will have to pay taxes on that. But there may not be. They may let you just withdraw it for hardship. You don't want to do a 401k loan on it though. So if that's the case, you would just forget it and just leave that there and just pay off the 2 personal loans on your income by using that snowball, and you just leave that 8,000 there. All right, comparison no 23-24. Marshall's daughter cannot eat eggs, but she can eat cake and bread. So things that are made with egg, she can. Or are we talking about no egg cake and no egg bread? Do you use egg in bread? I don't even know. I've never made bread. What would you do? Been a recent follower of Dave ever since his $1 million in debt video went viral several months back. While I don't agree with him on absolutely everything, I do agree that most debt is toxic. Well, there's no such thing as good debt, so it's all bad, and so get rid of all of it. Fortunately, I was very fiscally responsible and smart and lucky before I found him, so I'm admittedly in a good place. Well, that's great. 3 months ago, wife and I, 39 36, finally said language and got serious about our only remaining debt. We managed to pay off $20K of the wife's student loans. All right. Thought that one was going to be a quickie. Oh my goodness. Okay. 20K of the wife's student loan in 3 months, and we'll have them fully paid off. $34,000 remaining by December without having to go beans and rice mode at all. The advice is to go beans and rice mode to get it done faster. Faster. Baby steps right there. Faster. That is the advice. Gazelle Intense on steps 1, 2, and 3 is the advice. Still taking regional vacations, eating out, etc. Yeah, there's none of that crap. The advice is none of that crap. The peace of mind choice, mostly beans and rice our way through. The mathematical choice, let them mature since low 0 interest, and resume maxing out. That's debt leverage. That's a no. The middle ground, no either. I mean, it's none of your stuff that you're talking about. Because you're not, let's see, pause all say. This is the closest to it, but because it says mostly beans and rice, so there's still going to be ishy, but that one would be the closest one. For you to, yes, sacrifice some of your spending in order to get out of debt and get your full emergency fund faster is the advice. Ready? Proper ad, 627, inconsistent. Yes, you do use confirmation. You use eggs to make bread and cake. I knew you did for cake. And so it makes sense that it's the same for bread. Inconsistent. I think I did this one, but I'll just go over it really quickly. Inconsistent. The order of it changes sometimes from day to day. I don't know why. Because like they're both 5 days old, but I didn't do that one before. But this one, I think I did. In the baby steps, Dave advises that you start investing 15% of your income before paying off your mortgage. However, isn't that like borrowing money from the bank in order to invest? No, it's not. The house is an exception on that because you do need to live somewhere anyway. And so shelter is not an optional expense. You do need somewhere to live anyway. And so if you're going to get a mortgage at all, Dave just wants you investing too before you pay the house off, because you'll be out of investing for too long. Now, if you can pay the mortgage off in 2 years, or of course, and if you can buy all in cash, that is what he suggests. That is his advice. He just won't yell at you if you do get a mortgage. But let's see, every dollar that goes towards your 15% investing could be spent. It sure could. It sure could, but that's too long to be out of the market for that. And so you don't go over 15%. And so it's not inconsistent advice. Therefore, wouldn't a better plan be to pay off the house before investing? No, because how long is it going to take? Like most people, the average person, granted, wouldn't be doing Dave's advice at all. But like even the ish people that do his advice sort of, to even be doing the advice, they would have to be looking, at the baby steps. And so they would be at least a little bit familiar with it. But that is the advice. Just 15% until you get the mortgage paid off. And now anything above that, yes, that would be considered debt leverage, but you would have to pay for rent somewhere anyway. So that's probably the thinking on that. So it's not inconsistent advice. It's just, as usual, people want to do it their own way and they want to improve the baby steps. And so I don't think it's inconsistent, because he said the same thing the whole time. So he didn't change anything about his advice. This is still the advice. Key introduction 6029. Frustrated at medical bill in collections. Well, all right. Tried to make this brief. Didn't do it. It went to another page. Let's see how much. I got an alert on my credit report of medical debt July 6th. Never ever received a bill from the ER doctor or a written notice from the collection agency. Okay, so first what you got to do here in this situation is that if you go to the emergency room and yet you never hear from your insurance about it, you never get a bill from the emergency room, then you inquire about it instead of just, well, looks like you got away with that one, because then guess what? It comes back on you. Because people do make mistakes with paperwork all the time. And so that can happen. Let's see, a written notice from the collection agency. So already in collections. So initially, ER doctor bill was $12.24. Foolishly, I called the collection agency. It was reduced to 2 payments of $4.28 for 2 months. Okay, well, that is less than the $12.24, isn't it? So that is settling it for less. Let's see. I put it on a credit card. I know it was wrong now. Yep. Then I get an alert saying they put an account on my report with an amount of $7.96. I called back and he said some word salad and he'd only charge another $4.28. But now it says, yeah, the actual bill is $22.34. My paid $4.28 plus the $7.96 equals the original amount. That's why I'm dubious. Yeah, there's, you got to be careful. You got to get it in writing from them first, and you do not give them a payment method that they can hit again. So you do not give them access to your bank account. You do not give them your debit card, even not a credit card, but doing it on a credit card, dumb too. Shouldn't have the credit cards anyway if you're following Dave's advice. Went to my bank, and the credit card is now closed. The bankers issued another, and probably with a different number on it. And so, still keeping the credit card. Not you doing it wrong. The agency now has no access to being paid. Right? He made it sound that since everything was recorded, I'm bound to that agreement. Well, you never know what a judge will say, but generally it would have to be in writing, the same as you should have gotten the agreement before they changed the agreement, apparently. Filed a complaint with Better Business Bureau, read sometimes medical bills under 500, often in discharge. I'm an elderly person, not so concerned with credit score anymore. But what should I do now? I'm really emotional over this. You can call them and try to settle it for less. And just otherwise don't pay it. It's already in collections. So your credit scores are already tanking. So you can just let it sit in there. And you save up an amount of money that you want to pay them in cash. And then, of course, you don't do cash, but you can get like a cashier's check or a money order or something like that and pay them that way. Do not give them a card number. I guess you could get like a Visa gift card or something like that and put the exact amount on it that they should be able to take out and then nothing else on it. You could do that. But yeah, definitely you need it in writing from their actual email address, an actual paper, thing, with their company letterhead on it would be the best. But Dave says email is fine for that. Email agreement. Just got to make sure it's from the actual collector and not from some scammer. Alrighty, James WK15, just got my student loans forgiven through the public service loan forgiveness. I know Dave Ramsey talks about how the loan forgiveness programs have really low approval rates. They do. So I just wanted to share at about $25K in student loans forgiven. It does happen. Very small percentage, but it does happen. But I submitted the forms about every year or so to make sure my payments were being counted, and eventually ended up paying too many because a religious university that I work for ended up counting, even though I had been told in the past that religious organizations don't qualify. Okay, don't know about that. All my loans were direct loans. Okay, so it worked out for this person. And they got forgiven under the government law that allows that, government program that allows that. So it's still a low percentage rate, so you definitely can't count on that. Jay Cornford, saving for a house and the baby steps. Well, saving for a house has its own baby step. It's not on here, though. One of the missing baby steps, forthcoming video. I've only been promising it probably about 2 years now. Have not made it yet, but that's baby step 0. That includes like getting on the same page with your spouse. What else? Budget, doing a budget, getting current on any past due bills, getting insurances in place. There's a bunch of other stuff on there as far as baby step 0, what you should do even before you start saving the $1,000. Oh, and back to the emergency fund debate. A lot of people that complain about the $1,000 not being enough, they don't even have $1,000 at that moment either. And so that is illogical, Captain. And so basically that's a way to just not do the steps at all, or to not do it like Dave says. That's all that is. But step 3B is where your down payment would come into. And so you do not buy a house while you have debt. You do not buy a house when you do not have an emergency fund, and I recommend a 6-month, the maximum emergency fund that's advised. I recommend that because if you buy a house, there's going to be associated house emergencies. Things are going to break sometimes, and you can't call your landlord to fix them. You have to fix them. I feel like the baby steps assume you have buy a house. No, it doesn't. It has its own thing. It's just not in the baby. It's not listed on this list or the official Ramsey Solutions one. Now, let me tell you this. Since I do this show, I bring up the baby steps so I can refer to them. And I brought them up one day in, I think April. And I brought it up and it was on here. It did say baby step 3B, save down payment for a house. And it said that on there. Now, and the very next time I did a show and brought this up, it was not on there anymore. I thought, somebody just released it early and they'll have that. They'll put that up in conjunction with the updated Total Money Makeover that came out in May. But that didn't happen yet. So I don't know what that was. I don't know why it changed for one day, why somebody owed it. I thought maybe just somebody from the graphics department uploaded it early, or something. And so it got taken down, but then it would come back for, the updated Total Money Makeover book release, but it did not. And so, that would be great that it's on there. And that's my next song. You heard Dave Cation, Bad As It Was, earlier. The next song is How to Do the Baby Steps Right. And that's about all the ways that people do it incorrectly, like telling them, you save $1,000 and you don't use that $1,000 to pay off debt. You also don't save more and add to that while you're paying off debt. And so it's all about that kind of stuff. So that'll be fun. That is my next one that I'll be doing. I'd have to do a good version of Dave Cation first. So where were we? We were doing questions. Let's see. We're just saving for a house. We have completed baby step 3. Okay, so you're right there. But I don't feel like, for me, we can reach baby step 4 and save for a house at the same time. Is there a suggested ratio of saving for a house and retirement at the same time? No, you get to decide that completely. You can also put off baby step 4 for 2 years. And that allows you to save up a larger down payment faster, which is what a lot of people have to do if you live in a high cost of living area and you do not make high cost of living money. So Dave is fine with you being out of the market for 2 years. In addition to however long it took you to do baby steps 1, 2, and 3, because you should also be out of the market for that. And so that's where it fits in. And this is one of the things that, it gives you the power to decide. Of course, it's your money, your life. You can decide to change all the steps if you want to, but then you're not doing the steps. You're doing what you want to do. But this is one of the parts where you get to totally decide this. What is the percentage? And so you can base it on when you want to move. Most people is like, I want a house right now. And so in that case, I would think you would not invest for a while and you would just put every extra cent into the down payment fund. And that's baby step 3B again. And I will be making that video at some point to address all of the parts of the missing baby steps. That one's the only one of 3B. It's because that's just the down payment, but there's a lot of facets to baby step 0. Struggle, snuggle. All right. Car loan advice. No BS about paying it off immediately and eating rice and beans. That's the advice. Next. Running CPA. Sell slowly bleeding rental for large loss. Yes. Why have it slowly bleed? Why not get out of it? That way you're not losing any more money. That doesn't increase the amount of money that you're losing on it. 2023, I bought my first house as a personal residence worth $432,000. The home price has not changed since then. In December 2023, it hasn't? Oh, it's just been less than a year maybe. Okay. And what are you looking at that says the home price has not changed? If you're just looking at Zillow, you can't go by that. You would have to get it appraised. In December 2023, my work required me to move about 1.5 hours away. So I still own the property, but rent it out. And that's the way everybody thinks that they need to do it. Oh, I have this house. Oh, but I need to move. That automatically makes me a landlord. Landlording is not for everyone. It's a pain in the butt. And it's not worth it. There's so many stories, like questions on here, and people that call the show where they're making a few $100 profit a month. And guess what happens if the roof breaks? If you have to replace a roof on your rental property, there's all of your profit for the year gone, and you're even at a loss at that point. So it's not worth it. Just because you move. And also, if you're moving an hour and a half away, then you're likely not managing it, and you have to pay somebody else to manage it as well. And so that further lowers the profit. And so you have to do like Dave does, and he only buys great super deals for him. And of course, since he pays cash, that's all profit immediately. Unless you count the amount that he bought the house for, but he still has all that worth in the house because he could just sell it again. I have no intention of ever moving back to that house. Sell it. I hate the community. It's so far away from everything, but it was affordable at the time and was a brand new house in a new community. And I had wanted a house so long that I bought it. Yeah, learned 1,000 things great from this transaction on the appropriate way to buy a house, regardless of blah blah blah. What would Dave do? Flair here? You sell it. Even though it's a loss. That you don't throw. Keeping it is throwing good money after bad. Especially now if it's bleeding, that to me means no profit at all being made on it. So, and definitely, why would you do that? Just sell it and get out of it. And the amount of the large loss, that's your stupid tax for doing it. For not selling it immediately. Gold band 7181. Debt has its own heartbeat. How's it go? The beat of your heart. That's some kind of song that does that. These credit cards have their own heartbeat. Get 3 cards each with $600 in debt on them. $10K in the bank. Do I use my savings to pay off debt? Let's see, what subreddit are we on? We're on, it's the Dave Ramsey subreddit. Now, if you've listened to Dave Ramsey for 10 minutes, you know he's anti-debt. If you look at the baby steps, you see that baby step 2 is pay off debts from smallest to largest using the debt snowball method. It doesn't say have 3 cards while also keeping $10K in the bank. It does not say that crap on here. Credit card drops when I pay them off. We don't care about credit score here either. I don't see care about credit score as one of the baby steps. Take home pay is $2,200. No other debt. Just need help on the first step. Well, the first step is to save $1,000 only. And so that means the $9,000 can go to pay whatever debt you have, including these cards. So you can just make up your own thing to do, or you can follow the steps. Only 2 comments, and that's all it deserves, really. Not even that even. Tasteful male side boob. All right. On baby step 2, should I mix 2 and 3? Well, let's see. So I don't know. I often complain about this because I don't know how you can look at the baby steps list or even any list here and say any list at all and saying, oh, I'm supposed to do all these at the same time, or I'm supposed to do this and this at the same time. If it's in a list like this and doesn't have specific instructions for how you should do it, I'm thinking you do step 1, done, check. Then move on to step 2. Done, check. And then move on to step 3. Done, check, which is exactly the way you do baby steps 1, 2, and 3. And granted, it doesn't say on there, so people get confused a lot of times. And a lot of times they want to be confused because, like this person, I think they want to do it their own way. Steps 4, 5, and 6 you do all at the same time, whichever of those 3 apply. If they're not done apply, you get to skip them. Like if you're investing and you don't have children and you are decided you're going to be a lifelong renter, at least for the moment anyway, until you decide to go back into step 3B for the down payment, you're in baby step 7. Congratulations. Renters and people with no children can be in baby step 3 that you just skip 5 and 6. You don't have to save in advance for if you do have kids in the future, or if you do want to pay off you do want to get a house someday. You can wait until you actually decide to get a house to start saving for it. Up to you. Let's see. I've made progress through my debt. Now about 10K in high interest credit card debt. Yeah. 17K in 0% interest. Very fortunate that between my wife and I, we're currently bringing in $20,000 per month net. Then you should be out of debt pretty quickly then. Unless you didn't change your lifestyle at all. Cut some stuff out of the budget and pay it off very quickly. I'll be paying off the high interest across the next 2 weeks. Just the interest part of it, or the cards? Completely. My question is, should I just go full out on the remaining 0%, or should I pay the necessary amount to have them paid off over the next 6 months so no interest accrues and start putting the rest towards emergency fund? No. Again, step 1 through 2 and 3 in order separately without doing a higher step. Step 1 first, check. Then move on to step 2. Do that one, check. And then move on to step 3. No mixing 2 and 3. And people are nutty. There was a person, you never know. People could be lying. But that said he was doing all the baby steps at the same time. And when you do that, when you do more than one baby step at the same time, because guess what? You know what happens when you, if you were to do this, mixing 2 and 3, if you're putting money into the emergency fund, that means you're not paying off debt as fast, and that means you're being charged more interest as well. And so you're making it take longer. And if you do that, you're doing it wrong. Cherry Different 4967. What does Dave Ramsey have to say for the following parable? Okay. Luke 12:16-21. He told them a parable. The land of a rich man produced abundantly. And he thought to himself, what should I do? For I have no place to store any of my crops. Then he said, I will do this. I will pull down my barns and build larger ones, and there I will store all my grain and all my goods. Okay? And I will say to my soul, soul, you have ample goods laid up for many years. Relax, eat, drink, and be merry. But God said to him, you fool, this very night your life is being demanded of you. And the things you have prepared, whose will they be? So it is with... So it is with those who store up treasures for themselves, but are not rich towards God. Well, nobody ever said not to give things away. Christians believe in actually a tenth that comes off the top in your budget. Tithing. So Christians believe in that. And so that's the giving. But there's also another Bible story that says a wise man has stores of goods or something like that. That's not exactly what it says. But so there's this and there's the other one as well. But nobody said you can't give some away. Giving is a big part of the Ramsey advice. Okay, by 2315, followers of growth and income, aggressive growth, and international. Are you actually beating the S&P 500 after fees? Yes, handily. Yes, handily. And the growth and income, I believe, okay, I know the aggressive growth is small cap. The growth, I believe, is, I get these mixed up. If growth, I think, is mid cap, and growth and income is large cap. I may have those mixed up, and of course, international is international. But so you don't need to actually know which one it is, but that's what they're more commonly referred to. I don't know if if they were referred to as that more commonly back when Dave started investing and doing money stuff or not. I have no idea. But most times you will see them referred to by the cap, small, mid, and large, and the international. I always wondered if anybody's actually taken an in-depth analysis of Dave's recommendation versus just dumping it all in S&P 500 and calling it a day. Anybody here do it strictly by the book? Yes. And the reason I do it by the book is correct, because there are managed funds out there. Even after you take out the larger expense ratio, it still handily beats the index. Now you can be lazy and just dump it in the S&P 500 and call it a day, and you don't have to do anything except contribute and buy more constantly. And that's better than nothing, absolutely. So if that's all you're going to do, knock yourself out. What I tell people lately, though, is that, of course, as always, is leaving money on the table from the managed funds that beat the index. But also, I've been pointing out to people recently, in the last 5 years, S&P 500 is up 83.61%. NASDAQ in the last 5 years, that's all your tech stocks, is up $116 and 116.05%, And so you're leaving money on the table just doing S&P 500. At least do 50-50 in these. Or at least put 10% on it and see how much it beats it by. If you're not as comfortable with it. And then you can always change that back out. You can just let this sit with $10 in it and see how it grows, and put everything else in the 500 and go from there. But that will show you in your own account that you can look at as much as you want, and it shows you that the NASDAQ is, and it's not only for the 5 years. Now the max you can't go by, 7,748. And the max, you can. Okay. Because I knew it's like the, out of the last 15 years, the NASDAQ has won 11 of those over the S&P. And so if you're only doing index funds, not advised, do managed funds instead. But if you're only doing index funds, by just doing the S&P 500, you're leaving money on the table. You're also leaving money on the table if you do just those two, and you are not in the managed mutual funds instead. That, yes, they cost more, but they're worth it, because they may still make more than the index after you take out the larger expense ratio. And so, yes, it's not a myth. Easily found. I didn't know anything about the market when I started investing. I listened to all Dave Ramsey stuff. I looked up all of his investing videos, and basically his advice is you want to have something that it has a 10-year track record at least, and something that consistently beats the index amount, which is 10% average per year. And so that's the requirements, and they are out there. And if you can't find them, you're not looking, because there's plenty of them. Another ad right there. Sissy9725, does the show pay royalties to the Jerry Rafferty estate for using the song Baker Street? And that is the opening theme to it. The I'm sure Dave does everything on the up and up, but I was just wondering about this. Any feedback appreciated? It has been from day one, I think, or early in the show anyway, that it was the theme to the radio show. But let's see, I want to say like 5 years ago, maybe something like that. 4 or 5 years ago, they didn't have like as when they went on YouTube, they didn't have the okay to play the song for the YouTube video, so they didn't. They had just other music, and the other music that's on the show is from a third-party clearinghouse, which means there's no royalties on it. They pay a flat fee for those songs, and often those songs sound like other songs or a combination of those songs. Like you can listen to them and say, oh, well, that sounds like a little bit of this song and a little bit of this song just mixed up together, and that's how that often works. And so, but they did get permission, so I would assume that includes some kind of royalty thing, but I'm not sure. And on the radio, all that's covered because the radio companies pay like a flat fee for that, and so if you use a song on your particular show, then that is covered by that. Alrighty, James Robinson TJ. Debit accounts. I saw that Discover Bank has a 1% cashback debit card. What checking accounts do you use? I am currently with Ally Bank. Baby step to Flair. You can do whatever you want on a debit card. It's fine. The problem with the 1% cashback and any rewards is that it tends to make people spend more money chasing rewards. Now, I mean, it's possible that the same person that is disciplined enough to pay off the card every single month would also be disciplined enough to not chase the rewards and only buy the stuff that they would have bought anyway. But guess what? Everybody gets a credit card, says I'm going to pay it off every month, so I don't have to pay interest until they don't. So that's why that's not advised. But I mean, if it's a debit card, it's a debit card, and so that's on you if you're dumb with it and spend more than you normally would. Time extension 804 is 1K. Starter emergency fund realistic? Yes. It's not supposed to be enough. Oh, well, we already went through this. So a lot of times, like people come into the Ramsey Show chat, they don't read anything. They just put in their question, and it's possible this person did and didn't see the earlier one posted on the same day, apparently. Let's see what this person does. I do not think 1K is enough. It's not supposed to be enough. 2K, not 1K, then I add $500 per person residing in the home. You can do it whatever way you want to, sweetie. It's just not Dave's advice. Used asks 3537. What's Dave's opinion on 0% APR car if you have the money to pay up front? His opinion is to pay up front. You don't do debt. You think you know the answer because you do know the answer. Just haven't heard him say it. Well, a lot of times he might think he doesn't have to say it because it's common sense. He can't say no debt, don't take out loans, don't do car loans, and you can't apply that to your life. The only reason I would think that you can't apply that to your life is you don't want to, because you want permission to be able to do this, which you don't need anybody's opinion. You don't have to put it on the Reddit. You don't have to call the Ramsey Show. You don't have to put in the Ramsey Show chat. You don't have to do anything. You can just do what you want to do. But debt is dumb. So you do not do that, even if it is 0%. Do not do that. No debt. No debt. No debt. What don't you understand about that? Dave is the no debt guy. Gold Ben 7181. We did a question from that person earlier. Family of 3 to split rent. Rental 1650. 3 adults. Mom, daughter 19, and son 17. Son not quite there, but will be there soon. But Dave likes adults to live on their own. Let's see, each with our own income. Should we split the rent even to afford the rental? Okay, to be able to afford it, where 2 of these adults here, in order to afford it, they need the rent from that other adult. What if that other adult decides to bounce? And especially when family. That's how you lose family members. That's how there's so much animosity built up, because somebody decided to leave a situation like that, making it unaffordable for the other 2 adults. That's not a fun Thanksgiving at all. Let's see. I, as mom, pay $1,350. Daughter pays $300. Should we just split the rent down 3 ways, trying to get more out of the kids? Yep. Since each person has a full-time job, how do I tell the kids they need to pay more to help out? Well, if your name is on it, if you're the only name on it, you're the boss. You're in charge of it. That apartment belongs to you. And you're not obligated to provide a house for your 19-year-old. And when your son becomes 18, you're not obligated to provide housing for the son either. And as a matter of fact, Dave would suggest that they move out. And so I understand it's a way for mom to get a better apartment or house or whatever it is. So I get that, but that's going to be a no from me, dog. And I feel confident saying it's going to be a no from Dave as well. Any advice? I'm feeling guilty. That's on you. Your guilty feelings are on you. That's call Dr. John Deloney on that one. But not sure I'm going to be able to afford to go on paying everything. Yep, well, shouldn't have moved into somewhere you can afford. So lots of mistakes being made. Everything you are doing here is bad.
Everything you're doing is bad. I want you to know this.
That's right. And just for fun, I haven't played it in a while, I don't think. The other option is you're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong.
Don't want the hair to get wet. All right. Let's see. Zesty Clothes P2349. Should I do the Roth 401k? Oh, let's see. Let's see. Well, you can't. Oh, Sydney was saying you can, I guess. That was only 40 minutes ago. Sorry about that, chat. Not paying attention to the chat. That's my bad. And so I may do this even before I move, but definitely after I move back to Ohio, I'll be setting it up so I can look right here and just look over here to see the chat. Because right now I got to turn my head all the way over this way to look at it. Sid says, hey, I got an ad spot on your video. I appreciate your patronage, Sid. That's how monetization works. Trying to secure the bag from you people. Should I do the Roth 401k? Yes. Match first. You know why? 100% rate of return. Next choice. After the match, the amount, what should you do then? Then you should do Roth. If your company has a Roth 401k, it's fine for you to do everything in that. Now, your match, if they offer one, will not be allowed to go by law into the Roth 401k, so they will open a traditional 401k for you as well, and the money can go into there instead. The match can go into there. 401k that I'm already contributing money to, but my employer just started offering Roth 401k as an option. So what you do, the best thing to do is, it's up to you. You can roll in the 401k to the Roth 401k, but you'll have to pay taxes on the money that you didn't pay taxes on. In return for you paying taxes on that small amount of contributions that you've done already, and it's just on the contributions, it's not on the growth because you're rolling it over. You have to pay the taxes on those contributions. But in return for paying that, then you get tax-free withdrawals of the growth upon your retirement. And there's no taxes on that. And so it's much better to pay taxes ahead of time on the small amount of the contributions and not have to pay it on the large amount of the growth later on. So, but what you can also do is just you have to have, for the match, if they offer one, you have to have a traditional 401k open anyway for them to put the match into, since it's illegal for them to put it into the Roth. I mean, it probably is not even set up that it's even an option to even do that. So, but they can't do that. So what you can do is just leave the 401k open. And if you don't want to pay the taxes on it, that's fine. You can pay the taxes on the growth on that a little bit later. And you just start contributing from the next paycheck into the Roth 401k. So you can do that as well. Oh, no employee match. Okay. So start putting money in the Roth. Yeah, do Roth. Roth is always, if you have any appreciable time in the market, your growth is going to be a lot more than the contributions, which is why you do it that way instead of other investing mannerisms. I was wondering if you go ahead, yes, or would it be silly to have 2 retirement accounts? No, you can have as many retirement accounts as you need. You can also have like if your Roth 401k fills up, you can do a Roth IRA on top of that, but you don't need to if you don't exceed the maximum contribution limits on the Roth 401k. So yeah, you can have both the 401k and an IRA both. And of course, Roth would be the way to go on both of those. eCape 298 renovation. Hi, I'm on babies 456, and that's a no for me, dog. You wait till you pay your house off before you do any renovation. How have you guys navigated renovations? Cosmetic purposes. So yeah, that's a no for me, dog. It's just cosmetic purposes. There's no cosmetics where you're trying to finish the baby steps. You get in baby step 7, you can cosmetic the crap out of it. But until then, that's just dumb. In this step, did you pause 5 and 6 to save up the cash? I don't see that anywhere in the baby steps to do that. I don't see anywhere in the baby steps where you would do that. Edit. Had my numbers for the steps wrong and forgot that a chunk of my spouse's income is immediately saved by the employer towards a pension, so pausing baby step 4 doesn't apply. Okay. Oh, fixed it though. Edited it. All right. So yeah, that's going to be a step 7 thing for me, dog. Of course, again, your life, your money. You know, if you did with steps 1, 2, and 3 exactly as written, and now you're in 4, 5, 6, and you want to pause it. I mean, once you're in step 4, that's where you could start budgeting fun things. I don't know that a renovation, I don't know that I would call that a fun thing. And you never know. You would hate to renovate it, and then by the time you get to step 7 and pay it all off, then you just want to move anyway. To a bigger house, perhaps. That does happen. Or downsize at that point, if the kids have all left home. That kind of thing. And so, the people that want to do renovations and stuff like that, I always would suggest to wait for baby step 7. Until the house is paid off. Alrighty. Once again, Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. Again, for more of this fun financial content, answering your financial questions. That's the weekend stream, 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturdays and Sundays. Playlist right there, the music playlist. I will record a better version of the Dave Cation song and add it to here, and that will make 10 Ramsey adjacent songs. And then the Ramsey Show Aftershow show. Hey, that's this show, and there will be another one of these on this Thursday, July 25th. Excuse me. Start that over again. There we go. You can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me at calendly.com/coachstevemoney. You can email me about coaching or anything else on my YouTube channel or anything else on your mind. coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Ouch. Donations can go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney. Alternatively, to Cash App at $CoachSteveMoney. Walmart gift card to coachstevemoney@gmail.com as another alternative. Or you can just watch the ads like Sydney had to do. Upcoming streams, of course, answering your financial questions, Saturdays and Sundays at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the same time Ramsey Show video comes on during the week on YouTube. And of course, the Ramsey Show Aftershow show, which we did this one Tuesday, July 23rd. That's the one that's ending now. And the next one will be Thursday, July 25th, approximately 6 p.m. Whenever the Ramsey Show ends. Normally about 6:07 or something like that. And then just for fun, I put in the crawl some of the do the baby steps right stuff, instructions, since apparently people can't understand it. Alrighty. I thank you so much for watching, guys. Appreciate it muchly. And again, I hope to see you on Thursday, where we'll do it all over again. Approximately 6:06 p.m. I think today was a little bit later. Like, I think I didn't start until 6:09 or 6:10, something like that. Alrighty. And bring questions next time. Love to answer some real people questions. And, you know, obviously the dream would be to take calls. Maybe one day. We'll see. Baby steps for building a international conglomerate empire like Mr. Ramsey. Baby steps. Alrighty. As we like to say, make smart financial decisions every day. Sid came up with that.